Welcome back, everyone. This is Trending Update USA. I'm Steffan, and today we bring you a story that has sparked intense debate across social media, tennis forums, and sports talk shows around the world, as Coco Gauff has strongly denied claims that she has started copying her boyfriend, pushing back firmly against what she calls a misleading and unfair narrative that distracts from her hard work, individuality, and growth as a professional athlete. Coco Gauff has never been a stranger to attention. From the moment she burst onto the global stage as a fearless teenager defeating legends and challenging the hierarchy of women's tennis, she has lived under a microscope. Every serve, every outfit, every word in a post-match interview is dissected, analyzed, and often exaggerated. But in recent weeks, a new claim began circulating online, suggesting that Coco has been changing her style, mindset, and even on-court demeanor to mirror that of her boyfriend. What began as casual speculation quickly snowballed into a trending topic, with some fans questioning her authenticity and others rushing to her defense. Now, Coco herself has stepped in to set the record straight, and her response has been direct, emotional, and unapologetic. According to Coco, the idea that she is copying anyone, especially someone she cares about, is not only false but deeply disrespectful to the years of dedication she has put into building her own identity. She emphasized that every evolution in her game and personality comes from experience, coaching, maturity, and self-reflection, not imitation. Coco made it clear that growth should not be confused with copying, and confidence should not be mistaken for influence. As she continues to mature both as a player and as a young woman in the public eye, she says it's natural for her to change, but those changes belong to her alone. The claim itself seemed to stem from superficial observations. Some fans noticed shifts in her fashion choices, her social media tone, and even her body language during matches. Others pointed to her increased calmness under pressure and a more assertive presence in interviews. Instead of celebrating this development as progress, critics rushed to connect it to her personal life, reducing her evolution to the influence of a relationship. Coco has firmly rejected that framing, stating that it reflects a broader issue where young female athletes are often denied agency and individuality. In her response, Coco stressed that she has always been a student of the game. She studies champions, listens to her team, and constantly works to improve her mental and physical approach. She explained that confidence doesn't appear overnight, and composure isn't borrowed from someone else. They are earned through losses, heartbreaks, long training sessions, and the pressure of expectations. To suggest that these traits come from copying someone else, she said, undermines the grind that most people never see. Coco's supporters were quick to rally behind her. Fans flooded social media with messages praising her strength, intelligence, and self-awareness. Many pointed out that male athletes rarely face similar accusations when they change coaches, evolve their style, or grow more confident. Instead, those changes are praised as signs of maturity. For Coco, however, growth was reframed as imitation, and that double standard did not go unnoticed. Several former players and analysts also weighed in, defending Coco and criticizing the narrative. They argued that personal relationships are often unfairly weaponized against female athletes, turning private lives into tools for public judgment. In Coco's case, they noted that her recent performances show clear technical improvements, especially in her serve consistency, shot selection, and emotional control during high-pressure moments. These are not traits someone copies casually. They are the result of intense training and experience at the highest level of the sport. Coco herself addressed this point by highlighting how much time she spends working with her coaches and support team. She talked about the hours of video analysis, the mental conditioning sessions, and the constant refinement of her technique. She reminded fans that tennis is an individual sport where accountability is unavoidable. When she wins, it's because of her work. When she loses, the responsibility also falls on her shoulders alone. That reality, she said, leaves little room for imitation narratives. The controversy also opened a broader conversation about how young athletes navigate fame in the social media era. Coco acknowledged that being in a relationship while competing at the top level brings added scrutiny, but she insisted that her private life does not define her professional identity. She explained that she values support, positivity, and balance, but those things enhance her life rather than reshape who she is. Her message was clear: she is not becoming someone else, she is becoming more herself. What made Coco's denial particularly powerful was its tone. She did not lash out, insult critics, or fuel further drama. Instead, she spoke with clarity and confidence, drawing a firm boundary while remaining composed. Many fans noted that this response itself demonstrated the maturity that critics were trying to attribute to outside influence. It was a reminder that Coco has been growing up in the public eye and learning how to handle controversy with grace. As the story continued to spread, the narrative began to shift. More people started questioning why the claim gained traction in the first place. Some admitted that they had jumped to conclusions based on limited information. Others recognized that society often struggles to accept that young women can evolve independently without being shaped by romantic relationships. Coco's response forced many to reflect on those assumptions. From a tennis perspective, Coco's recent form speaks volumes. Her improved consistency, smarter point construction, and emotional resilience have been evident on court. Analysts have highlighted her willingness to adapt her strategy mid-match and her growing comfort in big moments. These changes align with natural career progression rather than imitation. Coco herself pointed out that every top player goes through phases of reinvention, and she is no exception. She also addressed the emotional side of the controversy, admitting that it was frustrating to see her work reduced to gossip. However, she said she has learned not to let external noise dictate her focus. Tennis, she explained, demands mental discipline, and part of that discipline is knowing when to speak and when to move on. By addressing the claim directly and then refocusing on her goals, Coco showed exactly where her priorities lie. The reaction from younger fans was particularly notable. Many expressed gratitude for Coco's honesty, saying it helped them feel seen and understood. For young women trying to define themselves in a world full of labels and assumptions, Coco's message resonated deeply. She encouraged them to own their growth and not apologize for evolving. Her words extended beyond tennis, touching on identity, independence, and self-respect. As the dust settles, one thing is clear: Coco Gauff is determined to control her own narrative. She is aware that fame comes with speculation, but she refuses to let rumors overshadow her achievements. By denying the claim firmly and articulately, she reaffirmed her individuality and reminded the world why she is admired not just as an athlete, but as a role model. Looking ahead, Coco remains focused on her career goals, her improvement, and her love for the game. She has made it clear that she will continue to grow, change, and evolve, but on her own terms. Whether critics accept that or not is secondary to her commitment to herself. In a sport defined by pressure and scrutiny, Coco's response stands as a powerful example of confidence without arrogance and clarity without cruelty. As fans, the takeaway is simple. Growth is not imitation. Confidence is not borrowed. And Coco Gauff is not copying anyone. She is writing her own story, one match, one lesson, and one moment at a time. This is Trending Update USA. I'm Steffan, and we'll continue to bring you the stories that matter, with context, balance, and truth.